In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis, as well as breaking news. BlackRock now officially holds more than 300,000 Bitcoin, worth over 20 billion. And let it sink in. It only took them 5 months, fam. Also breaking news, GameStop rally sends Roaring Kitty shares to 1 billion. He just did a stream. I was on it. Had over 650,000 live concurrent viewers. We're also going to be discussing what would happen if GameStop actually put Bitcoin on the balance sheet, kind of like MicroStrategy. We'll also be discussing breaking news. Semler Scientific now officially holds 828 Bitcoin and has a $150 million plan to buy some more biddies. Let's freaking go. We'll also be discussing big shorters are betting almost 7 billion against MicroStrategy stocks and what this means for the market. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin at 150,000 per coin if Donald Trump wins the elections, according to the major bank, Standard Chartered. We'll also be discussing here's when Bitcoin will soar to 100,000 and $1 million per coin, according to PlanB's stock to flow model. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this plus so much more in today's show.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day, maybe I need a life, but Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV!
Woo! Let's go, baby. TGIF. Weekend is amongst us. Shout out to all the broskies, all the ladies. But anyways, fam, if you're new to the YouTube channel, very important to smash those likes, subscribe, turn on all notifications. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algo. And please, if you're watching the stream on X, simply hit the repost. It'll get more eyeballs on the stream. Always greatly appreciated. Today is pod episode number 1663. I'm your host, JV, and it's Friday, June 7th. 2024. The markets are correcting a bit, but we're still less than 2% down on the day, still above 69,000. Let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. You can see the broader market all in the red and correcting. XRP back down to 49 cents. Womp womp. And checking out the, here we go, the coin market cap. You can see we're sitting at 2.63 trillion. Market cap, we're roughly 81 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. Bitcoin DOM at 53.3% with the Ether DOM at 17.3%. My question for the chat, how high do you think this Bitcoin dominance will likely climb for this particular cycle? Let me know your thoughts in that live chat. I'll read that out loud here in a moment. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past 24 hours. Jasmy up 5%, Ordi up 3%, and Filecoin up 2.5%. Besides that, really not much of anything in the green, as the majority of the market is correcting and in the red. But besides that, let me know which altcoins you guys are most bullish on for this particular bull. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective on the day. Damn, can you say Rex City? Roughly 98% of the top 100 coins correcting, bleeding, and in the red, and only a couple in the green. And zoom it out on the monthly, safe to say maybe 40 to 50% in the green, and the other half of the market in the red. So it's a mixed bag. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, today we're 77, extreme greed. Yesterday was a 78, as high as we've seen it in a while in extreme greed. Last week a 73, and last month a 64 in greed. So there you have it. My crypto fam, where do you feel this Bitcoin price action will likely take us in the coming weeks for this month of June? When all-time high, when price discovery, the local top is still sitting at 73.8, which we achieve mid-March. Holla at your boy. Anyways, fam, let's continue with our Bitcoin TA, aka astrology for the broskies. That's right. Bitcoin, a little volatility action here today. Here you're looking on the 1 hour chart. Bitcoin saw flash downside volatility into the June 7th Wall Street Open as U.S. payrolls data surprised the markets. That's right. TradingView showed a $1,300 Bitcoin price dip within a single hourly candle before the rebound entered. Bitcoin joined a knee-jerk reaction to U.S. non-farm payroll data, which vastly beat expectations to suggest the labor market was coping with tight fiscal policy better than the forecast. This in turn pushed back the odds of the Fed lowering interest rates, a key prerequisite for the liquidity influx into risk assets such as crypto. Quoting Bloomberg analysts here, it does close the door on a July rate cut. The FOMC was due to meet on June 12th to discuss these rate cuts, with markets now seeing little prospect of a cut resulting from the next 3 such meetings. And per data from the CME Group's FedWatch tool, the odds of a minimum 0.25% decrease stood at 0.6%, 8.8%, and 50% for the June, July, and September FOMC meetings, respectively, at this time. Now, other reactions noted curious contrast between strong payrolls and unemployment, which at the time rose to 4% and 0.1% above the predicted level. Quoting economist Holger here, while the establishment survey by BLS reports 272,000 new jobs for May, the household survey shows a large drop in the number of employed, down 408,000 jobs. This is why the U.S. unemployment rate has risen from 3.9 to 4%, despite a lower labor participation rate. Meanwhile, turning to the Bitcoin price action itself, market participants chose to take a back seat while the volatility resolved itself. Dan Crypto Trades noted the Bitcoin remained below a key resistance as before the data prints, while fellow trader Scoo said that spot bidders were needed to fuel the uptrend. Quoting him here, tight area here generally with the previous highs and resistance of 71.6. And also CoinGlass showed thickening liquidity both above and below. The spot price was 72.6. Now a focus for resistance up from 71.9 earlier in the day. And remember, as I shared the other day, on-chain analyst Willy Woo said 72,000. Now it may be a little higher, as pointed out here. 72.6 is the line in the sand that will liquidate more than $1.5 billion worth of short positions, which will ultimately send Bitcoin back above price discovery mode, above 73.8 and potentially above 75,000 per coin. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And quoting Dan Crypto Trades, the longer the price consolidates below this resistance, the more likely it is to break. In my opinion, we'll just patiently wait. That's right. Patience is virtuous, especially in crypto. And in other news, BlackRock now holds more than 300,000 biddies worth over $20 billion, and they achieved this in just 5 months. Pretty wild. And collectively, the United States ETFs now have done over 1 million in Bitcoin volume. That's 1 million Bitcoin, which is equivalent to roughly 5% of the Bitcoin circulating supply, which is mind-boggling, family. And again, in 5 months since ETFs went live, January 11th. Mind-boggling. Let's discuss this Roaring Kitty and GameStop stock. I was on the stream earlier, had over 650,000 live concurrent viewers. I don't know if I've ever seen that many people on a live stream in my entire life. Mind-boggling. The guy's position was at one point, I think, up to $1 billion in unrealized gains. Today it was down $300 million. He was drinking a brew live on stream. So let's break this one down. The headline reads, GameStop rally sends Roaring Kitty shares to $1 billion. Also want to point out this tweet earlier. Marty Party wrote, so if GameStop takes their $2 billion cash and raises another $3 billion after their 424 B5 today and buys 5 billion of Bitcoin, they can be another MicroStrategy. So I retweeted that. GameStop should buy Bitcoin and become the next MicroStrategy. Sounds like a no-brainer to me. What are your thoughts on that, family? And how many of you were on the Roaring Kitty live stream? Do let me know. Keith Gill, the stock trader known for GameStop short squeeze in 2021, is on his way to becoming a billionaire as GME shares continue to surge. Gill, also known by his internet nickname, Roaring Kitty and Deep Effing Value, revealed on June 2nd that he had started trading GameStop stock again with $180 million to play with. The trader posted 115 million position in GameStop shares and 65 million in call options on his Reddit account. The trader's reevaluation of another position on GameStop shook the stock market again, causing an uptick in the GameStop stock price. Robinhood's overnight market saw GameStop jump by 19% 20 minutes after the post, closing with shares up 38.8% thus far in 2024. So it hit as high as $46.55. It has went back down some since then, just FYI. But GameStop's price was sitting at $46.55, which is 118% gain since Gil shared his position. Global capital market analyst, the KBC Letter, believes that Gil is set to be a billionaire as GameStop stock capitulated at $67.50. Good Lord. Per share in its after-hours trading. And according to the stock analyst, if it opens at that current level, Gil's position will be worth around $1 billion. But unfortunately, it did not open at that level. It went back down, and from what I saw today live on the stream, he was down 300 million on the day, but still up overall drastically. The analyst also highlighted that the stock closed 110% higher than June 6th and added $9.5 billion in market cap in the previous 12 hours, putting the company at a $20 billion, good Lord, valuation, making it one of the 400th largest public companies in the United States. Do you think they'll put the Bitcoin on the balance sheet and pull a Mikey Saylor? Let me know your thoughts. Now, on June 3rd, prominent GameStop short seller Citron Research criticized Gil's move. The company accused Gil of manipulating the markets in a post, alleging the trader was working with someone else. Wrote the following: "We believe someone is backing Gil. There is no way he made this size trade alone. His reported finances don't support the trade. Investors will see through this roaring," whatever that says, Icarus. Very interesting. Anyways, June 4th, the Massachusetts securities regulator reportedly opened an investigation into Gil's moves. And in a recent CNBC interview, the former CSE official said the investigation would likely examine whether Gil is moving the market. She explained that the regulators would check if Gil was potentially working with other people or engaging in illegal conduct. Now, she also noted the regulator may look at Gil's communications, such as his texts, emails, and even his communications on social media. They are concerned that this is an effort to manipulate the market and for him to make money for himself through illegal disclosures. So there was a lot of speculation that the reason he came out was to kind of like throw all that nonsense out the window. Maybe he spoke with a lawyer and he just made it very clear, this is not investment advice. I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm drinking a brew live on stream. I don't know anything. I just believe in the company. Let's see how it goes. That was the gist of it. Let me know if you guys were on it. More bullish news. This headline's pretty significant as well. Semler Scientific now holds 828 Bitcoin and has another $150 million plan to buy more biddies. Can you say winning? NASDAQ-listed medical manufacturer Semler Scientific, which made headlines last month for adding Bitcoin to the treasury, bought another 17 million worth of Bitcoin and may raise another 150 million to buy more. Let's go. The firm's latest Bitcoin purchase revealed an S3 filing with the US SEC regulator June 6th, and after making its first 581 Bitcoin purchase on May 28th, it now holds 828 biddies worth over $58.5 million, quoting them here. "It underscores our view. The Bitcoin is a compelling investment and can serve as a reliable store of value. We will continue to pursue our strategy of purchasing the biddies with the cash." Amen. That's the most beautiful strategy of all time. Trade your fiat, family, for the Bitcoin. One of them is fake tulip bulb mania monopoly money, and the other is the greatest store of value to ever exist and perfect money. What are you waiting for? Semler isn't wasting too much time either. It announced that it can raise an additional $150 million of debt securities, with a portion of the proceeds used to buy more Bitcoin. Sounds like the MicroStrategy play. Not too shabby. Quoting them here: "We intend to use the net proceeds from the sale of any securities offered under this prospectus primarily for general corporate purposes, including the acquisition of Bitcoin." Let's go. The June 6th statement, the firm's CEO, Doug Murphy, said that Semler's Bitcoin investment strategy has become the firm's other top-line priority alongside its healthcare business. Bitcoin, now Semler's primary treasury reserve asset, can serve as a reasonable inflation hedge and safe haven amid global instability. Quoting them again, we also believe that it is digital architectural resilience makes it preferable to gold, which has the market value that greatly exceeds the market value of Bitcoin, he said. Given the gap in value between gold and Bitcoin, we believe that Bitcoin has the potential to generate outsized returns as it gains increasing acceptance as digital gold. The firm iterated that it has no plans to purchase crypto assets other than Bitcoin, ultimately meaning there is no second best. Now, Semler stock spiked 30% on this news on May 28th after the purchase. However, it wasn't able to pop this time around, falling 2.5% to $29.13 as of yesterday, June 6th, according to Google financial records. Japan-based investment firm MetaPlanet is another firm that has followed MicroStrategy's Bitcoin playbook. It first bought 6.5 milli of Bitcoin April 8th and has bought multiple purchases since, totaling 117.7 Bitcoin worth 8.3 million. MetaPlanet's last Bitcoin purchase on May 22nd contributed to being the best performing stock on the Tokyo Stock Exchange for 2 consecutive days. So there you go. Now that Saylor laid out the blueprint, many companies likely to follow. Why wouldn't they? That's the most brilliant move in stock history, in my opinion. The S&P, actually, MicroStrategy is not even in the S&P 500 yet, but soon it's about to be. So I think many of these big stock companies with excess cash are going to follow in the footsteps because look how genius of a successful move it is. You know what I mean? Let me know if you guys agree. But anyways, fam, next story of the day. Let's discuss those shorting MicroStrategy right now, which I think is pretty insane. But nonetheless, headline reads, big shorters are betting almost $7 billion against MicroStrategy stocks. And shout out to the Giga Chad, by the way, Mikey Saylor. Several institutions are still holding out for a decline in the stock price of Saylor software intelligence firm MicroStrategy with $6.9 billion in major short positions. However, the short seller almost tripled in 6 months. That's right. As of June 6th, yesterday, MicroStrategy has 18 short positions listed on investment research firm Fintel's The Big Shorts list, which is the list of the largest short positions disclosed by institutions to the U.S. SEC. The biggest position, approximately $2.4 billion, is also the 27th largest net shorter position amongst institutions. It is just over $1 billion, less than Amazon's highest net short position of $3.59 billion. The biggest net short position in the U.S. is on the SPDR S&P 500 Trust Exchange Traded Fund, which is $114 billion. Good Lord. And despite some institutions betting on a MicroStrategy fall, there has been a marked decrease in short seller confidence. The short interest ratio for MicroStrategy stock decreased by nearly 50% over the last 6 months from 3.1 days to 1.5 days. The popular indicator helps traders analyze the risks of the short squeeze by indicating the average number of days that the short sellers need to close their positions. The lower the number of the days, the less short seller interest. And according to the Google Finance data, MicroStrategy stock has rallied since December of 2023 when it started at $570 and has since tripled to $1,656. It comes only months after the crypto skeptic investment firm Carisdale Capital put pressure on MicroStrategy shares following the launch of the spot Bitcoin ETFs this year, which officially went live back in January on the 11th. Carisdale Capital argued that there may be little reason left for investors to trade MicroStrategy stocks to gain exposure to Bitcoin after the approval of several spot Bitcoin ETFs this year. Quoting them here, the days when MicroStrategy shares represented a rare, unique way to gain access to Bitcoin are long over. And then also, it was recently reported MicroStrategy significantly outperformed Bitcoin over the past 12 months. The stock is up almost 500% over the past year, while Bitcoin is up roughly 170%. So there you have it. Crypto fam, how many of you are actually bullish on MicroStrategy? Let me know, fam. But anyways, let's now discuss this prediction from Standard Chartered Bank, who predicts that Bitcoin will hit $150,000 only if Donald Trump wins the elections. Let's break this baby down. And again, welcome everyone just joining the stream. Let me see if I can zoom out of this a little bit to make it better. Should be able to see better now. Let me know, family. But anyways, according to the latest forecast shared by the London bank Standard Chartered, in which I believe BlackRock is the primary shareholder of, they said to the block that Bitcoin will reach the price target of $150,000 by the end of the year if Mr. Trump wins the U.S. presidential elections November. November can't come fast enough. The victory of the Republican could indeed make the American government always opposed to the world of digital assets. Favorable in the expansion of the cryptographic industry and its regulatory framework, Bitcoin in this scenario sees an important opportunity for appreciation with forecasts that drive the hodlers of the crypto cray-cray. That's right. Yesterday, the head of digital resources at research of Standard Chartered, Geoff Kendrick, shared with his online newspaper, The Block, his prediction regarding the price of Bitcoin at the end of the year. The analyst observed how, in the context where macroeconomic indicators and developments on the political front have a decisive impact on the crypto market, the victory of the U.S. presidential elections by Trump could push Bitcoin to 150,000. Trump's openness towards the digital asset sector, confirmed by his latest pro-crypto speeches during the election campaign, suggests that in the event of an election victory, market speculators could favor the growth of Bitcoin's value with super optimistic forecasts. Quoting verbatim the analyst, as we approach the U.S. elections, and I expect $100,000 per Bitcoin to be reached, and then $150,000 by the end of the year in case of a Trump victory. The next big driver for Bitcoin will then become the U.S. elections. That's right. A major focus for this election, as you know. Also, Kendrick believes Bitcoin can start the rally right away and reach a new all-time high over the weekend above 73.8 if the publication of the non-farm payrolls data for the month of May has a positive outcome with more than 185,000 new payrolls in the United States. In particular, a non-farm payroll report that highlights a strong labor market synonymous with a robust economy could bring enthusiasm and favor risks on assets like Bitcoin with a target of $80,000 by the end of the month. Let me know if you agree with that. I'd love to see an 80,000 Bitcoin price. I think it's very doable. 85, next leg up. Send it and let's get it. He also noted that with over 50 million Bitcoin and crypto holders in the U.S., the outcome of the presidential election is poised to play a crucial role in shaping the future of Bitcoin. And overall, the analysis of digital assets as Standard Chartered is optimistic about the short-term future, both of the U.S. economy and the crypto economy, and reiterates its ambitiously bull forecast. Bitcoin at 150,000 by the end of this year in case of Trump's victory, and then 200,000 per Bitcoin by the end of 2025. It's also worth noting that the Bitcoin price above 150,000 would bring its market cap to $3 trillion, slightly higher than the current market cap of the tech giant Nvidia. So there you have it, family. What are your thoughts on that? Are you guys bullish for Trump if he is elected president? Do you also believe we'll hit 150,000 likely before the end of this year with him as the commander-in-chief? Holla. Now for our featured story of the day. Here's when Bitcoin will soar to 100,000 and $1 million per coin, according to PlanB's stock-to-flow model. Let's kick it off, actually, with a recent tweet that he shared. My forward guidance for 2024 and 2025 has not changed since October 2022, when Bitcoin was below 20,000. So let's actually start with that initial tweet he shared October 6, 2022. My forward guidance for the next 3 years, 2024, halving is coming, and the increased scarcity stock-to-flow ratio will pump the Bitcoin price just like in 2012, 2016, and 2020. Now back to the new tweet. He says, check already, meaning it already happened. Rise into the April 2024 halving, done. Also check. Halving around stock to flow model value of 55,000, already done. Pump after the halving, already done. Now what is yet to come in 2024, Bitcoin crossing that six-figure milestone of $100,000 per coin, and also next year, 2025, reaching the stock to flow target between 0.5 million, which is $500,000 per coin, to 1 million. And he ultimately says a range, saying of $250,000 to $1 million per coin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Plan B. And then someone wrote here, Gordon Watson, as always, thank you. Much appreciated on this end. I've been following you for years now, and your authenticity, genuineness, and determination to help other folk like me doesn't go unnoticed. Happy Wednesday, in which he gave us a little pray, emoji. But anyways, back to the headline. Here's when Bitcoin will soar to 100,000 and $1 million, according to Plan B's stock to flow. Here you go. Creator of the Bitcoin stock to flow model, Plan B, shout out Plan B, doubled down on his Bitcoin prediction for this particular bull. And according to the tweet I just shared, Bitcoin will surge past 100,000 per coin this year and possibly touch 500,000 per coin next year, rallying within the $250,000 to $1 million range. Let me know if you agree with that. PlanB said his predictions for the Bitcoin price movement in 2024 and 2025 have not changed since he revealed them in October of 2022, when Bitcoin was below $20,000. At the time, he said the increased Bitcoin scarcity stemming from the Bitcoin halving will pump the asset's value like it did in 2012, 2016, and 2020, the previous halving cycles. And although the Bitcoin stock-to-flow model has been criticized in the recent years due to its inaccuracy, PlanB's analysis has recorded a few wins. Facts. And most recently, he forecasted that Bitcoin would rally as the halving approached, and that the event would take place while the asset's value hovered between $55,000 and $60,000. The predictions came through, with Bitcoin hitting the all-time high of 73.8 before the halving and retracing to 63,000 during the event. It remains to be seen when the crypto will cross that 100,000 milestone so we can have our fiesta here in Puerto Rico, family. How many of you are ready? And also reach 500,000 target next year, which FYI is right in alignment with my personal prediction. So let's go. Now, the one set of the new cycle, let's break it down. Last month, crypto analysts said May marked the beginning of the new countdown to the next halving scheduled for 2028. He said Bitcoin's performance in April disclosed a closing price of $60,600, which signaled the end and completion of the previous halving cycle. PlanB believes Bitcoin can reach an average price of $500,000 per coin between this year and the next halving of 2028. The stock-to-flow model's average price prediction for the 2020 to 2024 halving cycle was $55,000, but Bitcoin recorded $34,000. The stock-to-flow model's analysis quells worries from the crypto community members about Bitcoin rallying to new post-halving since the crypto hit an all-time high before the event, which is for the first time in Bitcoin history. PlanB said in March that Bitcoin will witness 10 months of face-melting FOMO. Are you guys ready? Comprising extreme price slumps and multiple drops as low as 30%. But regardless, the asset would rally to new highs in the coming months. Meanwhile, PlanB believes that Bitcoin would never go below 33,000 ever again in subsequent bear markets and post-halving slumps. So what are your thoughts to that? His personal prediction of where we're heading. Can you see Bitcoin ranging from $250,000 to $1 million for this cycle peak? Holla at your boy and let me know. I'm going to read as many of your comments out loud as I can. PlanB sounds good. Amen. Opinions. Can I have one? Yes. Insist. I insist. The BLX Weekly. All previous post-halvings have led to an approximate 2 Fibonacci level increase in the Bitcoin price. The 1.14 sits at 400,000 and the 1.236 sits at 3 million, all before January 2nd, 2028. Well, send it. Let's freaking go. I'm ready. Face melt incoming. That's right. One bull a day keeps the SEC away. Music to my ears, family. Music to my ears. Nick G, serious question. Is the stock to flow still valid? In my opinion, yes. Many vids say it's been proved invalid. Well, it was wrong for a target in one cycle, but we had unprecedented times such as Bankman-Fried scamming the entire crypto industry, becoming the second largest crypto exchange, and ultimately screwing all of us. Now, if that didn't happen, we may have hit $100,000 as the previous cycle peak. Remember November of 2021? I remember kind of like yesterday. I think it was November 10th. We hit 69,000. Now, if we didn't have the bad actors, the Lunas, the Terras, the Bankman-Frieds, the Caroline Ellisons, and all these mofo criminals, then we could have realistically actually hit that and been on track. However, things happen, right? Things don't always go according to plan. I don't think that should discredit the entire model. Something to consider. The stock to flow has still been the most persistent, accurate price prediction model since the inception of Bitcoin. Things just didn't go according to plan. Previous cycle, I personally feel we make up for that. This cycle, I'm sticking with it. Let me know your thoughts. But that's a serious answer to your serious question, Nikki G. What is the most fiat item you would like to have? For me, a cow farm to raise a family. So do you need a cow farm to raise the fam? But I guess a house, a property, real estate, Bitcoin being the digital real estate. The thing is, you can't live in the digital real estate. So you need to live in a physical real estate. So maybe I would address that and answer with real estate. What are your thoughts on that? Let me know. Strapped in for the launch? Let's freaking go. Yeah, so my personal prediction is Bitcoin price between 222,000, which is my bear scenario, which is the low for the cycle peak, and my high is 750,000. That's right in alignment with PlanB's stock to flow model. Let me know your thoughts, broskies.